Good day everyone, this is your European Open briefing for Monday, October the 3rd, 2016. I'm Rafi Bergian, currency analyst at xm.com, and we're going to be looking at what's happening in the currency markets today. So the main headline today is, as it was on Friday, what's happening with Germany's Deutsche Bank. There were rumors out on Friday that the bank is negotiating a reduced fine with the US Department of Justice. This comes after it was imposed a 14 billion fine for mortgage mis-selling way before the financial crisis started. This sent the bank's shares tumbling down in recent weeks, and last week it hurt the euro because of the possible impact on the wider eurozone banking sector. We saw on Friday euro jump back about $1.12 on these rumors, and this has boosted risk sentiment today. It's been fairly quiet trading in Asia though, due to a week-long holiday in China for the National Day Golden Week. We did have some Japanese data out today. We had Bank of Japan's quarterly Tankan survey. The other news today is with sterling. We saw sterling drop to 7-week low, but this was actually earlier out in Asian trading. At the start of European Open, it actually hit a 3-month low, and we'll see that in more detail shortly. Now, quick look at the equity markets. We can see that majority of Asian stocks are in the green. This is mainly due to the risk-on sentiment today. On Friday, US stocks closed up because of the again on these rumors of Deutsche Bank, and this helped rally in equity markets. Now we can see here in the euro-dollar chart that the euro hit a 1.5-week low, 1.1153 on Friday in afternoon European trading, and then we saw the euro jump sharply to hit a high of $1.1250. It's held above $1.12 this morning. And again, it's mainly on hopes that Deutsche Bank will pay a much reduced fine of 5.4 billion. This has yet to be confirmed, but it's quite likely that it will not have to pay the full 14 billion fine announced a couple of weeks ago. Also to watch later in the day, we've got the Eurozone final manufacturing PMI for September. Now let's have a look at the Bank of Japan's Tankan survey. We can see that for the big manufacturing indices, they were fairly steady from the prior quarter, although they were slightly weaker than expectations. And this is the same for both the manufacturing and the non-manufacturing indexes. Small manufacturers, they remain in negative territory, although they came in slightly better than expectations, and they were also improved on the previous quarter. What does look good here, though, is the capital spending plans. So big businesses expect to increase capital spending by 6.3% in the coming quarter. So all in all, it was fairly mixed set of data for the Tankan survey. We also had the final Nikkei manufacturing PMI that was revised slightly up from 50.3 from the flash reading to 50.4 in the September's final reading, and it confirms that the manufacturing sector did expand last month. There wasn't much reaction to dollar-yen in the currency markets. The dollar fell slightly after the Tankan survey, and then it bounced back up again. The dollar has been boosted slightly by the overall risk-on sentiment in the markets, but on the whole, it's pretty much stuck in its recent trading range. Now, the biggest mover today has been the pound. Over the weekend, the British Prime Minister, she spoke at the Conservative Party conference in the UK, and for the first time she announced when the government is planning on triggering Article 50. So Article 50 is basically the clause which allows any European Union member to initiate the process of exiting the organization, and Theresa May said that she will do this by the end of March next year, and this could possibly set the path for the UK leaving the EU by April 2019 at the latest. We saw sterling tumble to a fresh 3-month high just shortly. It hit a $1.2845. The euro also rose sharply against the pound on the news. It hit a 3-year high of 0.8746 pounds. Also to watch in the Conservative Party conference is the Finance Minister Philip Hammond's speech. He's expected to announce an easing of the previous government's austerity plans. We know that George Osborne, the previous Finance Minister, was hoping to achieve a balanced budget before the end of by the end of Parliament. We expect these plans to be scaled back, and then he may announce some large investment projects. So this will be watched by the markets. Also coming up, we've got the UK September manufacturing PMI for the UK. In August, we saw a big bounce back following the big plunge in July from the Brexit shock. So this will be interesting to see whether or not UK manufacturers hold on to their confidence. Let's have a quick look at the commodities. Oil is pretty much holding near its last week's highs, although it hasn't made any additional gains, despite the fact that OPEC announced its first cut since 2008. The gains have been kind of somewhat limited, and this is mainly because we still have an oversupply in the market. In August, OPEC output reached a record high, so there is still some doubt, even if the deal does go ahead, whether how much of an impact the modest cuts will have on prices. And looking at gold, gold has been steadily falling over the past week, and the improved risk-on sentiment late on Friday and today, that's been weighing on gold prices. It's currently trading around $1,315 an ounce. Coming up later in the day, apart from the manufacturing PMIs for the UK and the Eurozone, we've got the US manufacturing final PMI. We're going to have, of course, the ISM manufacturing PMI for the US is expected to come in at 50.3, and that indicates an expansion. Back in August, it dipped below 50, indicating contraction. So this will be closely watched. And we also have total vehicle sales as well in the US. But that's it from me today. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.